Hi, this is not a game dev vlog with some live play, live commentary. I've made this pack for a very fun build and it's the giant squirrel combined with the fairy dust. Hi, this is not a game dev vlog from editing mode because there's two things that are happening. So one, I had the wrong recording settings, so I will leave the original footage in the top right corner because it's too good to leave out, but I cropped it wrongly, so I've tried to record a replay so you can see what's fully happening and then see the live timing in the corner somewhere. And secondly, I thought I was going to record for 1 hour, but if you look at the time of this video, you know what a live not a game dev vlog does not know yet. It is not gonna take 1 hour. So let's jump in the real commentary. Tier 1, Tier 2, so that's already a fun start. So it's fun to see all these interesting battles, I think. So this specific build, the giant squirrel fairy dust gives opportunity for a lot of fun battles. So I think that's the fun part, and maybe it's also fun to have some more long form Super Autopets content. So I have a bit of a fixed strategy, might not even be the best. So if I do not get to 10 wins, then feel free to backseat me in the comments so I can still maybe get it over the line at a later point. But my strategy, because giant squirrel is a tier 2, is to do not freeze anything basically in the shop, because I want it as early as possible, and the pack has a lot of these scalers, so I want to get stats on it as early as possible. Let me swap this out. It's still nice to preserve some wins. And I was doing some runs this afternoon and I am facing a lot of grounded sap, and actually that's good for us to face him because he is one of the rare ones that does not only play the overpowered builds, but actually I had one run where I faced a grounded sap the first 4 teams in a row, so maybe that says something about the size of the customs pool. So let's just take Puppy off amidst, and now I'm rolling for some very specific tier 2s that either help us survive or are the giant squirrel. So basically I'm only buying dromedary and yak, I think, right now. So there's yak, and yak really helps. You can just put it in and then for the next 4 or 5 turns you have a very high attack pet. I'm not gonna freeze this one, but if I find one later I can replenish the health by just stacking. And of course the bunyip the same. So this is both good pets when you're rolling for a specific early game pet. Do I want to reorder? Maybe I'll play it like this. So shout out to the yak. Sometimes I had these early ducklings runs and then you sell 3 ducklings and then you can even go up to turn 10 and then it ends up with a 17 attack or something. That's Blunderbuss Gus. Still rolling for giant squirrel or dromedary, and there we have it. So let's get rid of Puppy. I think I can now keep it in the back. So fairy dust, if you're not familiar, because you don't see it a lot, makes any pet into a jump pet basically. So it jumps to the front and it gets 2 mana. So my idea for this build is to also use this mana, but how can giant squirrel, because that gives after attack the health perk to the back. How can you make it give fairy dust then? Well, that's because later on I will be putting it in the front, and in the because it's in the front it will not trigger, and it can put fairy dust to the back and also to the opponent to the back, which can mess up their team. That's what makes it a very fun build, which gives very fun interactions, but it cannot hold up very well to the late game. I think I'm gonna freeze this yak just to replenish this health, because then we can go back to 6 health there. And this brain cramp, that's quite annoying. So there's a couple of reasons why this fairy dust can fail quite hard. Sometimes you face these jump teams where it doesn't matter if you make them jump. Actually, it might make them stronger. And then of course you have these axolotl teams and it feels really bad to give them more perks than they already give themselves. So yeah, that's basically already a spoiler of what probably might happen in these runs. So I think I'll also take Hatching Chick. I can play it here or here. And let's just take the level. Anyway, although it will die quicker, we are on an odd turn, so there are some good hits. So the good mana pets, so maybe give yourself a... yeah, I want none of this. Well, it might be better. Nah. Yeah, it's better than Alchemedes, of course, so, but then I have to freeze it. Well, let's just do it. So which pets are good with 2 mana? Which pets can make good use of 2 mana? So I added almost all mana pets to the list, but some of those don't really have a use for the mana, or don't really make a difference with 2 mana. You have the shark thing, Luska. Well, with only 2 mana, it's just not very good. I think I do it like this, and I might even still go for Giraffe, because then it just removes 2/2 instead. And this Gargoyle, well, it gives 5 health, and then at the level 2 it gives. Does it also double the 3 health it gives? So does it give 10 health? Let me quickly check. Yeah, so not too bad, but of course also not too good. And then there's what's it called? There's, yeah, I don't even have it in the pack. So there's the thing that needs 3. So for example, Pichu needs 3 or 4 mana to give gold, so we cannot use that. But then very good are, for, if you get it, it's already quite late, Aklut for some scaling. It needs exactly 2 mana. And also Chimera. And then we can put, of course, because we're jumping, we can put something on the second place. I think I'm just gonna sell this Giraffe for the Betta Fish, or maybe even the Fairy Armadillo. So we try to find something like PDF, or even the best combination would be Cobra. Aklut, because then we can scale if everything turns out perfectly, we can scale the Cobra with the Aklut. But there's so many moving parts, and it's so fragile to snipes, to yeah, something like this, to having the perk replaced. So sometimes I'm running real Velo just to hopefully yeah, for to keep this fairy dust alive. How much do you? But it all takes a spot, and having an early Loveland Frogman also helps a lot. And then you don't want the level 2 Chimera most of the time, because then you ruin your second place, whatever. It can be Minotaur, it can be PDF, it can be Cobra, it can be Snake. But if you have the double spawn from the level 2 Chimera, then it ruins it, because then something else will jump in front, etc. So I think I will go for Gelada here. Maybe still go for the front Yak, but now you see how quickly it basically destroys itself when it's level 2. So I'm now thinking maybe just put it here, right? Then it jumps to the front. We can replenish it, but I don't think it's worth it. We'll just sell it. So in theory, of course, like you see here, it's also a lot of pets in one. This giant squirrel, what a roll. This giant squirrel with fairy dust, because it's also a bit of a donkey, and when it gets big, it's now for this stage of the game quite big. Well, it can trade 3 for 1 sometimes, for example, if you have a similar build as mine. So let's get rid here. So now yeah, I think I have to go for this triple, right? Well, maybe hold for 1 turn, or put it here. Put some extra mana. So this should be a turn we win, and then we find PDF. We don't have much scaling. We can try to get the Gelada to pop, but we're out of lettuce territory already. So it's quite expensive, and we are scaling mostly only the giant squirrel. Leveling Hatching Chick also a bit too late for me, I think. So now we can see the whole thing in action. So now we are trading quite nicely. Then the Chimera comes to the front. Decent spawn. Sadly, with no mana, it just doesn't spawn. So the 3/3 pet only comes alive with at least 1 mana. Stack all stats on the giant squirrel would be very funny. Trying to manifest here if we get it the first try now that I'm recording, right? Let's level up into Cobra. Do we prefer Cobra? I think we take an early Cobra here. Maybe just do this even. For survivability, we are on 5 wins, 2 hearts. More. Yeah, although I am already ruining my own order here. But let's see where we get. Maybe this cockatoo value is quite nice with Cobra, right? Next turn. Currently only doing 2 damage, 3 damage. As we face vanilla turkey summon team. Turtle summon team. We do pull the dog to the front, which saves a lot of dog stats. But is it enough? It is not enough. So still no match. I think we do mess them up, but not enough. Let's just buy sell all these cockatoo. And hope we find something. Level on the Cobra is also very nice. And then bring in, I don't know, giraffe for a turn.
Giraffe.
It says so. We have a decent Cobra, right? It does 7 damage. We are only on 1 heart, but this run is for us. So I set the goal for myself to actually get 2 or 3 pets to the front, but with this run, yeah, it's just not worth, right? Because we have the level 2 Chimera, so we have to find something else with higher attack to jump first. Well, it could be. If we find an Aklut, it's still very nice. I'm also tempted to take this Cyclops. I think that, I think the time of this Gelada has gone, but now we have quite a big Cobra, and we find 1 more. So I think it's get rid of Gelada for Wolverine, because they will also give us all these tiny snipes. And now maybe I'm actually starting to get a little bit of hope just by virtue of the level 3 Cobra, but we have 0 scaling. Another free-to-play player. Wolverine even doing the work. So this was just a very weak team. Let's take all this cow onto the... I think just we have to buff this giant squirrel as well. Now we have the level 3 Cobra. Well, it does 60%, right? So math. No math in my head today. Buy, sell, always good. So what do we want? Freeze chicken leg. Freeze cat. Freeze giant squirrel for the double jump. I think that's at least nice. More free to play. So maybe the state of the pool is just very weird. So another easy win. Is this the luck of the... And we find Aklut. Yeah, we have to take that as well. So let's do it like this. Like this. Like... this. Because we get the Aklut scaling. Also do a sneaky puppy buy sell for some toilet paper. We are on 8 wins, so... Try not to be too hopeful. And this Aklut even has higher attack. And I finally remember this mistake I did a lot. I just automatically put it here because I want it... Well, I don't know, because I had this in the back for the whole time. But if it only goes off once, and it can only go off once currently until I level it, then I'd rather have the Aklut skill the Cobra. Although we miss out on the Chimera spawns. So maybe it's not true. Maybe I just bring in the hopeful Aklut for next turn, because it cannot even trigger right now. Are we worried about Wolverine levels? I think not so much. Good toilet paper, maybe. More snipes, and we win here because of the Aklut, kind of. Level giant squirrel, so we can get the Aklut jump. We even get the real Cobra level, but I'd rather have the Aklut level, to the point of not even buying this Cobra, I think. And then let's put a sneaky mana potion on 9 wins on my first try. Is this the live recording luck that we are looking for? Let's slow down the battle for cinema. What do we have? Peanut cow. How do we get the peanut cow? And then quite some stats. They ruin the backline with crisp, but we will survive that, right? So, and they do not remove our come on. They do not remove our fairy dust, and we even remove their peanut. So are we good here? If we do not win here, when will we win? So we place 2 fairy dust on both sides, and we ruin some of their harpy spawns. Then we bring their pets to the front. Our Cobra does a lot of work, so I'm actually looking quite optimistic. Well, that was our Aklut, but if we win, we don't mind the missed out scaling. Not a snipe. Cerberus gone. It still has 2 triggers, so we start attacking the harpy. We will get 1 more Cobra snipe. If you are quick at math, you can already see it. They have 2 big pets, but we do remove their health. And the harpy comes back, luckily, without any triggers. So we actually do take the win from the live recording luck. So I'm not gonna make this 1 hour long. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment, leave a like. I'm happy with this one. What a beautiful one. And thanks for watching. Beautiful colors as well right here. Oh no.